Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Tarot Thursday. I'm Reverend Mary Hawk, and with me is Reverend Don Lewis.
Hello, everyone.
Thank, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, it's always a pleasure to have me, and I just noticed your name, so I'm going to fix that right quick.
Oh, yes. Yes, I was not at last checking the Reverend Mary Hawk.
So,
I've
and
occasionally been
Reverend,
confused with Donald Hawk, but
I'm never going to live that down, am I?
no,
No,
it was too
he still
memorable.
gives, yes, and he still gives me a hard time about. I was making announcements at Pagan Pride Day one year, and I announced that Reverend Don Lewis's workshop was coming up at whatever time it was. And Don walked up on stage next to me, my husband, Don Hawk, and I introduced him as Reverend Don Hawk, which he is not. So
So, what is the date for Nashville Pagan Pride this year?
it is Saturday, October 5th, and it will be at Two Rivers Park. And Reverend Don will be joining us again, along
And
with Oberon Zell, Tish Owen, and a lot of other wonderful people. We're going to have S.J. Tucker performing.
and
So if you're in the area, check us out.
I believe I'll be staying with you and getting Hella up at 6 to go bark in the backyard. Oh.
And good evening, everyone who is joining us. Reverend Bryan is on vacation, so he might pop in and say hi. If you have
Yes,
a
indeed.
question for us, please go ahead and post it in chat, and we'll be happy to do a 3-card, more or less, tarot reading.
We might have to pull a Bryan and an extra card.
Yes, we might have to pull an extra card or two if the situation requires it. And have you placed the order for the Tarot of Hecate yet?
It is in process, and we would expect to receive it some number of weeks from now, when it has
Okay.
been printed and shipped to us. I would guess we're talking around 6 weeks, but because we're dealing with international shipping, it can vary. But if you did not get in on this order and you'd like to get in, you'd like to order a deck of the Tarot of Hecate, you can get in on the next order, and we'll make the next order when we reach another 10 decks.
And if you would like to order the Tarot of Hecate, which is the deck Reverend Don and I both use, we have that scrolling across the bottom here.
Yes, you can find it at Corellian Publishing under the Infinite Tarot button. Oh, and hello to Felicia.
Hi, Felicia. And yes, we'll be happy to do a general reading for you.
I mentioned Tarot Thursday on my program today, but I didn't know that I was going to be on when I made the announcement. So I told them to come see Reverend Mary and Reverend Bryan.
Well, I appreciate the publicity. And I forgot Bryan was on vacation and didn't ask you till late. So thank you for hopping on.
It's my pleasure.
Hi, Anissa, and hello to Francine. And I have a jumper. Well, Felicia, first you asked for a general and then asked for good luck with your apartment search. You can go first if you want to.
Well, I've drawn 3 cards, and I was shuffling for a general reading, but they fit the apartment question. Or they could. So the first card is the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is waiting and patience, but also change on the horizon. So it says that you're right on the edge of a change. So if you're looking for an apartment, I would say that you definitely are going to get it relatively soon. With it is death, and death is, again, change and transformation. Can literally mean moving, and in this case I assume that it does. So it's saying that yes, you are going to have some good luck with your apartment search. However, it's followed by the Prince of Coins, and the Prince of Coins is patience and letting the thing take as long as it needs to take. So it's saying don't rush it, take as much time as you're able to give it to find what's really right for you, and you'll be pleased with the outcome. I'm going to draw one more card. Yeah, I've drawn the Fool. The Fool says that you certainly can have the outcome that you desire, but you must make the decisions and the actions to take you there. So, in terms of the apartment search, I would say that yes, you will have some good luck with it, but do be prepared to be a little patient in acquiring that good luck.
Okay, Felicia. So I had a jumper, and the jumper is the Ten of Pentacles, which indicates things you have the resources you need in the material realm to do what you need to do. I also drew the Eight of Swords, which indicates feeling stuck or trapped. So the situation might not be moving as fast as you want it to. I drew the Ace of Swords. Swords are around communication. And the Ace of Swords also means you may have to make a decision quickly. So be prepared to move quickly when you find a place you like. And then, drum roll, I drew the Prince of Pentacles.
It's going to be
So,
one of those
yes,
nights.
let the situation develop, but be prepared to move quickly again when you find what you like. So, overall, I think you are going to find something that suits you. And hello to Arlene.
Hi, Arlene.
And Nicole. And Nicole has asked, says, good evening from Wisconsin. My husband just got news that he has a tumor in his back, and we are waiting to find out more. The unknown and waiting is not fun. Maybe a quick reading, please, and thank you. And Felicia says, oh, thank you so much. And you're welcome, Felicia.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Well, I will go first this time. So the first card I have for you is the Lovers, and this suggests that you're going to have to make a decision. And then the next card I have is the Three of Cups, which suggests that a celebration is in order. And then finally, I have the Ace of Cups, which is talking about our emotions. And in this case, keeping things in balance. So I'm going to draw one more card. And I've got the Ace of Pentacles, and that's around the material realm. So overall, I see this as a fortunate reading for you, Nicole.
So I have drawn 3 cards and a 4th card for Bryan. And the first card is the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is like a timeout or a resting period. And I would take that, based on what I understand from the question, as saying for you and your husband to take care of yourselves, to make sure that you're doing the things you need to do. Saying don't stress out is not going to really help it, but if you can stress out as little as possible, it will help it. And don't worry yourselves to death. Don't overdo things. Take a little time and be good to yourselves. We have the Five of Swords. You may feel a little bit like the house is on fire. That's natural in the circumstance. But you have the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Wands is passion. And it's saying for me as a metaphysical person, I would say that this is saying to direct your energy toward the outcome that you want. Put your passion where it's going to help you. Do not put it into worry. Do not put it into negativity, but put it into manifesting the good outcome you desire. And then we have the Seven of Swords. I'm sorry, the Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands is victory after hard work. So it's saying, yeah, there's stuff here. There's stuff that will have to be done. It may take a little while. It's not a perfect situation, but the outcome can certainly be a good one. So what I would say is focus on that good outcome, and do not borrow trouble from the future, and do not let yourself be overcome by worry, but rather, again, focus on the positive and manifest the outcome that is desirable. And there you go.
Okay. Hello to Drago and Rebecca. And Nicole says emotions are going in all directions right now, and that's perfectly normal.
Yes, it is.
All right. And Arlene has asked, where will my current path take me? Okay. Hello, Diane.
Good to see you, Diane. Good to see you, Draco Kwan. In the days when I was doing Reverend Don's vlog, Draco Kwan was one of our most frequent question askers.
Okay, well, Arlene, the first card I've got for you is the Nine of Wands. And here we see a woman sitting in prison. So this suggests you're feeling a little bit stuck right now. So you're waiting on things to change for you. Now, the next card I've got for you is the Ten of Cups, which is sometimes called the Happy Family card. So eventually you're going to get the positive outcome you want. And then I've got one of my favorite cards in this deck, the Six of Lamps. And here we see Chok Ek, who has set out on a vision quest, meeting one of her spirit guides. So this suggests that you need to undertake some sort of vision quest, metaphysical journey, whatever you want to call it. But you do need to devote some time to expanding your spiritual journey. So I hope that's helpful.
So can you remind me of the question exactly? It
Hmm.
was, where is her current path taking her?
Yes.
Okay. So it's not necessarily any one part of that path we're looking at, but kind of in general. So not exactly a general reading, but first card I have is the Princess of Cups, which is what causes me to want to be clear on what I'm saying. The Princess of Cups is emotion. It can mean different things, but in this case, I would say you're having a lot of emotion. And there are a number of different things going on that are undoubtedly adding to that. Changes in the work life, things going on in the love life, maybe other things I have no idea of. So lots of emotion, not necessarily caused by the path, but by these different situations. It's followed by the Prince of Swords. And the Prince of Swords says that in considering your current path, your current direction, you want to make sure that you're getting what you need from it. Not that everybody else is getting what they need from it, but that you are getting what you need from it. So look at your path with a strong eye and a pair of hedge clippers and ask yourself, is this helping me? Is this what I want? And remove what is not. The way that I read the Prince of Swords is that there's a need for a healthy selfishness in the situation. Not unhealthy, but healthy. And that comes down to making sure that you are getting what you require. When I started reading years ago, I read this card in the more conventional way of saying that someone was being selfish. Whereas what I found is that when this comes up when I'm doing a reading, is that person needs to be more selfish. So for you, that is my advice in dealing with this situation. Be a little bit more healthily selfish to make sure that your needs are being met. It's followed by the Five of Coins, which is worry about money, worry about prosperity issues. And I would say that's part of where the question is probably coming from. That things just could be better in that area, as they can for most of us at this time. Um, but the advice is still the same. Look at it with a self-centered eye to make sure it's serving you in terms of what your path is doing, and not that you're expending your energy in every other direction. That's not to say you can't expend it in any other direction, but not every other direction. Then I also drew, again, a card for Bryan, Princess of Wands. And the Princess of Wands basically says that, everything is going to be there. What you need will be there. What you want will be there. But it's not quite in place yet. So be patient and be ready to move when it is. So use a little more selfishness, have your eyes open, and wait for the opportunity to improve the general situation that you're asking about, because it will come. And it will be possible to make it into a good situation. And there you go.
Okay. And
Bryan's right. These fourth cards are really helpful.
Oh, I hope he has time to pop in. Okay, next, Diane has asked us for a general reading. And Rebecca, thank you. It's great to see you pop in on Thursdays.
Good to see you, Rebecca. Okay. So, while shuffling, I had an escapee. So I'm going to start with my escapee, which is the 7 of coins. And and Arlene says, thank you so much, Mary and Lord Don. Both of your readings were very helpful. That's wonderful. Very glad to hear that. Getting back to Diane, the 7 of coins, I'm going to say in this case, is looking at the future with the question of how best to go about getting where you'd like to be, maybe even a question of where you'd like to be. It's a reassessment of situations. You can see the little man in the card is kind of sitting there thinking to himself, looking at his options. Now, for the 3 cards we've drawn, we have the 9 of Swords, the ghastly nightmare card. But like a nightmare, you want to remember what this card represents can't really hurt you unless you fall out of bed trying to get away from it. What this card says is that probably right now or in the immediate future, you're dealing with a situation you'd really rather not be dealing with. If you could just ignore it and make it go away, you'd be so much happier. But it's not going to go away. It has to be dealt with. But what you'll find is that in dealing with it, it will be easier to deal with than you think it will be. Not saying it'll be easy, but easier than you think. And so what I would say is grasp it by the horns, so to speak, and wrestle it to the ground and beat it into submission. And you will find that the whole process is not as difficult as you might be expecting. It's followed by the Chariot, which is moving forward. Whatever that situation is blocking you. When you've cleared it, you will move forward. You'll move forward quickly. And followed by Temperance, which is self-transformation, creating new situations out of old situations. And what it's saying is that once you've dealt with what you're afraid of in this situation, everything is going to move forward quickly. and it's going to transform itself into a very good situation. So I would see it as a beneficial reading within the context that you must deal with that which is blocking you. And once you've done that, you'll have good movement forward. And there you go.
Okay, so the first card I pulled is the Seven of Cups. And this is talking about having to make a choice between several different options, and they're all good options. Then I pulled the Seven of Pentacles. Second time we've gotten the same card tonight.
Indeed.
And here we have someone considering his options and rethinking things a bit. Then I've got the Eight of Wands, which is suggesting very sudden change. So I'm going to pull another card for Bryan. And we've got Time, which is talking about the cycles of time and how even if things are not going very well right now, they will improve later. If things are going well right now, take thought for saving back for when things are not going so well. So I hope that is helpful, Diane.
Yes, indeed.
And let's see. And now we've got a general reading for Drago. You are very welcome, Diane.
Yes, indeed.
And
Hopefully it was helpful.
I'm also going to add, if you want to book a private reading with Reverend Don or myself, you can do so at divinationtv.com, your destination for all things divination. Quan, so the first card I've got for you tonight is the stars. And here we can see someone seated on a mat or a cushion, and it looks like their spirit self is rising up. So this is suggesting that whatever your situation is, you need to be meditating, communing with your higher self, but performing some spiritual work at this time. The next card I've got for you is the Prince of Wands. And when the Prince of Wands shows up, there's a lot of energy around, but it's very unfocused energy. So, to move forward with your situation, you need to pick a path going forward and focus on it. And then finally, I have got the Eight of Pentacles, which is showing working at mastering a new skill. So taken all together, I would say you're needing to focus on mastering something right now. and not letting yourself get distracted from it.
Now I have drawn the Two of Swords, Seven of Coins, again, and the Five of Cups. And because I am not content with that, we'll draw a card for Bryan. We've drawn the Eight of Lamps. I don't know if anyone's quite getting the little inside joke about the card for Bryan, but that's okay. So, Two of Swords, you're going to find yourself, or already are finding yourself, in a situation where you're working with another person. Um, Not necessarily easily. Um, an alliance, a partnership of some sort. Could be, but I wouldn't expect it to be a romantic situation. I would think would be more of a businessy type of situation or a political alliance. Or if it were romantic, it would have those qualities to it. But another person who is influencing your situation. Again, maybe a little tension around that. Seven of Coins. You're not entirely sure what you want to do with this. You have mixed feelings. You're not entirely sure where the future should take you regarding your general situations. And you're really kind of looking at your options and have not really decided between them yet. Five of Cups. You're not happy with exactly where things are. And I would assume in terms of this relationship, certainly in terms generally, and this could be now, it could be in the immediate future, but you're going to look and want to make some changes. And then the Eight of Lamps is coming into your own power. So what I'm going to say to you is that dealing with this situation, at the risk of being a little cliche, is going to make you much stronger. It won't kill you, so it'll make you stronger. But also it will help you to better understand and utilize your own power and abilities, possibly metaphysically speaking, possibly just in general. Um, but you're going to see that you have everything that you need to make the changes you want. But you first have to decide what they are. Step beyond the emotion to be able to make them. Because there's some uncertainty about where you want to go, and there's sadness around the whole thing. Perhaps regret of where certain things did not go, or a desire that they would go in a direction they're obviously not going in. So you need to step beyond that. But when you've done that, and when you pull upon your own power and ability, you'll have a perfectly fine outcome. You just need not to be limited by the circumstances you find yourself in. And there you go. And Drago says, "Oh, wow, that's awesome." But I'm not sure if that was for yours or mine. But either way, that's great.
I'm pretty sure it was for yours. Okay. Janet has asked for a general reading, and then Rebecca asked for a reading regarding relationships. And then that will get us caught up until someone else posts.
And Drago
You are
says, "Thank
very
you
well.
both." Yes, indeed. You're very welcome, Drago. I have to remember it's not midday. I am not the host. And Drago says, "So
Okay.
don't limit myself to my gifts." Absolutely. And it was for
Well,
both of
thank
us.
Okay. Well, Janet, the first card I've got for you is the Five of Pentacles. So you've got some concerns around financial matters. Then I've got Judgment. So you are going to get something that you have earned, something that is due to you. Good night, Arlene. Thanks for coming.
Good night, Arlene.
I've also then drew the Eight of Swords, which indicates that you might be feeling stuck, like you're not able to move. So I drew another card for Bryan, and I pulled Death. So, and of course, this really means death and rebirth and transformation. So, things are going to change for you in a big way, even if you are feeling stuck right now.
I have drawn Temperance, the Empress, and the Seven of Coins. And one more for Bryan. The
It's
Lover.
just the Seven of Horns night.
It does seem to be the mascot of the evening. Temperance. I should say that when I was first shuffling for Janet, I had an escapee, but the escapee turned out to be like 8 different cards. So I felt I needed to reshuffle. So, first card is Temperance. Temperance says to Janet that you're heading into a time of transformation. Where you have been and where you're ending up are not going to be the same. There's a lot of growth, a lot of change, and a lot of becoming your truest self. The Empress is happiness and prosperity and good things. So this is good. It is it's a positive journey and a positive outcome. But along the way, you may not exactly know where you're going. You may look at it and say, what does this day have to offer? What is this next path in my life? But that's okay. Take it a step at a time. But it's ultimately a journey of personal growth. And finally, we have the Lovers, and the Lover says, well, yeah, but you have a choice in how you want to pursue this, and that choice is in front of you. Oh, let's draw another card. I've drawn the Seven of Swords. So you have a choice, and at the same time, you have victory, but you may feel that you're fighting uphill to get it. So make sure that you make the choice that's right for you and that truly helps in your self-growth. And things will turn out well. And there you go.
Okay. And now we are going to do a reading for Rebecca regarding relationships. So they should be chock full of cups, right?
How much you want to bet? Oh, Janet says, spot on, Dawn. Thank you. Thank you, Janet.
Yes, one would think they would be full of cups. And nary a cup in sight. Okay. Rebecca, the first card I've got for you is the Eight of Pentacles, which is talking about learning new skills, usually around your job. Then I've got the Eight of Lamps, which is also talking about perfecting your skills. This one has to do with the magical realm. And then I've got Temperance. And Temperance has to do with transformation and creating something new. And I'm just going to pull one more card. And finally, I get my cup, the Nine of Cups. And this is known as the wish card because be careful what you wish for, you're going to get it. So you have the ability to create for yourself what you want in this situation. Be careful what you are focused on. If you are focused on how well things are going, that's what's going to happen. If you are focused on how badly things are going, that's what's going to happen.
And I have drawn Two of Swords, Eight of Wands, Six of Coins. The Two of Swords, we talked about a little earlier in the program. The Two of Swords is a relationship, which is, of course, what's being asked about. But usually this doesn't indicate a romantic relationship so much as an alliance or a partnership. When it is a romantic relationship, it has that aspect of partnership about it. So in terms of the question about relationships, and knowing nothing else about what's being asked, the relationship that will be at the center of this, I would say, perhaps has an element of business involved in it, or shared activities of some sort. And also has an aspect as an alliance as much as a romantic type of relationship. Eight of Wands. Things are going to move very quickly. You can see the people in the card are moving very quickly. And that's the meaning of the Eight of Wands. I would look for sudden developments in the next couple of months. And it's followed by the Six of Coins, which is receiving help from the universe or from other people. So not only would I expect to see things move forward, but I would think there would be some beneficial assistance coming and helping it to move forward. Now, let us draw a Bryan card. And I've drawn the Moon. And to me, the Moon is all about magic. And so I would say, look at the romantic situation. Ask yourself what you're truly wanting, and then do some magic for it. Not for an individual person, but for what it is you want. And use your magical ability, use your connection to the universe to draw it to you. And I think you'll find that it will come very quickly. And there you go.
Okay, and now Darcy has asked for a general reading. You are welcome, Rebecca. Thanks for joining us. Have a great evening.
Yes, indeed. Rebecca says, absolutely perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Rebecca.
Hey, well, Darcy, the first card I've got for you is the body. And here we see the earth, Gaia, as a living being. And with this card, we're looking at how all things are interconnected. So when this card comes up, the advice is to carefully consider what you are doing in this situation because anything you do could have unintended consequences. Then I have the King of Wands. And wands are around passion. So the King of Wands is someone who is using their passions but is not controlled by them. So know how to apply passion in your current situation to get what you want. And then we have the Prince of Lamps. And with the Prince of Lamps, we are looking at perfecting your magical abilities as well. And I'm going to draw one more card for Bryan. And I have got time again. Second time it's shown up tonight. And with time, we are looking at the fact that time comes in cycles. So whether you're experiencing good times or bad times, they aren't going to last. So in good times, remember that and take thought for how you can prepare for bad times. And in bad times, remember they won't last forever.
And I have drawn the Eight of Cups, the Four of Wands, the Seven of Coins, and, courtesy of Bryan, the King of Lamps. So, how do we read these? The Eight of Cups says, do not be bound by fear. If you can see, the man in the picture is being haunted by phantoms. But that's what they are. They're phantoms. They cannot really hurt him, but he's obviously terrified. What this says is do not let your imagination shackle you with fear. You may have things here that you fear, but don't let them hold you back. They cannot hurt you. Ignore, certainly not anything that's actually dangerous, but ignore the fear that you may find yourself dealing with, and you'll find it's followed by the Four of Wands, which is success and achievement of something you've wanted. So you're going to find, I think, here in the fairly near future, if you're not held back by your fears, a very, very positive achievement of something you've been desiring. Where to go from that? Well, once you've done it, you may find yourself sitting there saying, oh, well, what's next? I've been spending so much time looking at this, I'm not quite sure where I'm going from here. But um, sometimes it's good to take a little while and think about your options. So be prepared to do that. And the overall advice for the entire situation is meditate. Look within yourself, connect to your higher self, and seek your higher answers in terms of dealing with the fear, in terms of where do you go next. The answers are already there. The advice you need is within. Go within and it will be there. And that's what I got for you.
Okay, and Fox Fur Witch has asked if it's too late for a reading, and it's not. Do you want a general reading or do you have a specific question? One that can probably be answered by the Seven of Coins. Okay, and Fox Fur Witch has asked for a general reading. You are welcome, Darcy.
Yes, indeed. I just had an escapee. It was the Seven of Coins.
What?
I just had an escapee as I was shuffling. It was the Seven of Coins. However, I'm still clearing the deck, so it's just reminding me it exists.
Gonna dream about that card tonight, I swear.
So I have drawn the Four of Swords, the King of Lamps, the Eight of Swords, and with a nod toward Bryan, the Ace of Swords. So the Four of Swords, again, is like a timeout period. It can indicate a need for a rest, a need for taking a little bit of a break, for stepping back from a particular situation or from all situations. And in particular, I would say it indicates taking care of yourself. So be patient, take a little step back, do some self-care. King of Lamps is meditation. To know how to best proceed, take some time to meditate and talk to your higher self. You may feel like you're not able to do everything that you want to do at this time, but that might be why we have that Four of Swords saying, take a little time and wait for the right opportunity. And again, let your higher self judge you. Or not let your higher self help you to judge the time. Ace of Swords. You must make a decision in terms of where you are going and where you wish to go. And this will certainly help everything to move forward. And that's what I got. There you go.
Okay. Well, the first card I pulled was the Eight of Swords. So, I agree that you are feeling stuck, overwhelmed, like you're not doing what you need to be doing. I've got the Two of Lamps, which is suggesting scrying or other spiritual means, meditation, looking to see what it is your higher self wants you to be doing. And then I've got death or transformation. So when things start moving for you, it is going to be a huge change. So enjoy a bit of a rest right now because once things start moving, it's going to be huge. And I hope you find that helpful.
Yes, indeed.
And we are at about the top of the hour, so we're not going to take any more questions. And Reverend Don, would you close this out with a prayer, please?
Certainly. Divine Mother Goddess, Divine Father God, beloved ancestors, we thank you for all you do for in our lives, and we ask you to help us to heed the guidance of our higher selves and of the divine. Help us to use the tools that are placed in our path through divination, through omens, through other sources, to see the best things to do to move ourselves forward. And help us to do so in a way that brings us to our heart's desires. Beloved Mother Goddess, beloved Father God, beloved ancestors, we thank you with great love, and knowing you are always with us, from respect, we thank you for your presence, and may be blessed now and always.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. I'll be back next Thursday with another episode of Tarot Thursday, and Reverend Don will be back tomorrow with midday with Reverend Don.
Yes, indeed, at midday.
So